Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're tuning in because we're going to be diving into a genuinely beautiful and honestly super purposeful project today. We're looking at a fantastic guide that shows us how to craft a 100% eco-friendly bird feeder. And the best part? We're literally building this thing using the generous gifts that our local forests just leave on the ground for us. It's a beautifully simple concept, it's completely natural, and it's just an incredibly rewarding way to give back to the environment right in our own backyards. So, okay, let's dive right into this. How can we actually help nature from home? It's a huge question, but the answer often starts really, really small. The source material frames this whole project around the concept of recycling nature's gifts. It's not just about, building a physical object. It's about coming together as a family to actively care for our immediate environment. By using what nature's already provided, we're taking a direct, hands-on role in planetary stewardship, and we're doing it right from our own kitchen tables. Which brings us perfectly to our next big idea, caring for nature as a family. This whole thing really transforms a simple weekend craft into a shared, family mission to connect with our environment. So, what we will need. To make this happen, we are stepping entirely away from plastics and looking strictly for things the Earth has literally dropped right at our feet. Our materials list is wonderfully tactile and, honestly, super simple. We're going to start with one dry pine cone collected directly from nature, literally a gift from the trees. Next, we need some peanut butter, or vegetable shortening if you prefer, which is going to serve a very clever purpose in just a minute. Then, grab some bird seeds. Things like canary or sunflower seeds work perfectly for this. For hanging the actual feeder, you'll need a piece of recycled string, maybe some jute or some yarn, and finally, just grab a deep dish and a dull butter knife. Using a natural pine cone and purposefully repurposing that recycled string, it really roots this whole process in the true spirit of conservation. It just feels great knowing you're using what you already have lying around to make a real difference. All right, we've got our natural materials gathered, the family's all gathered around the table. Let's get to work. Let's see how this all builds together. We're looking at three really simple, distinct steps here. Safety and string, the sticky base, and finally, the seed feast. This high-level overview just goes to show how accessible this project is. It's deliberately designed to be a highly engaging, family-friendly activity that breaks down a practical conservation effort into these really bite-sized, manageable little moments. Okay, so step one is totally foundational, and it starts exactly where it should, with safety. An adult needs to firmly tie that recycled string to the very top of the dry pine cone. The source guide is super clear on this point. Safety and supervision absolutely always come first. By having an adult step in to handle that firm, secure knot with the recycled string, we ensure the feeder's actually going to be strong enough to hold our feathered friends safely, all while keeping the crafting environment totally safe and controlled for the younger kids. Moving right along to step two. What's really cool here is how our everyday food acts as a natural glue. The kids can totally take over here and use a dull butter knife, or honestly even just their clean fingers, to spread that peanut butter or vegetable shortening all over the pine cone. The goal is to get it deep down into all those little gaps and crevices. It's this wonderfully sensory, tactile action. Spreading that sticky base all over the cone is fun, it's deliciously messy, and it's 100% natural. And that sticky base prepares us perfectly for step three. The sticky pine cone is now placed right into that deep dish we filled with seeds. The action here is to just roll the cone around and press gently until it's completely covered in that crunchy feast. Let me tell you, it is incredibly satisfying, feeling the textures of the seeds, pressing them gently into the sticky base, and just watching them adhere perfectly until the cone is completely coated. Every single seed that sticks is a future meal for a visiting bird. Once those seeds are firmly pressed in, the physical craft itself is complete. But the experience, well, that is far from over. Now it's time to focus on free and happy birds. The guide instructs us to take our newly minted eco-feeder and hang it on a branch on a nice outdoor tree. And this right here brilliantly illustrates the entire goal of our project. By doing this, we're recycling natural materials, we're actively reducing waste, and then we get to experience the beautiful scene of waiting for our feathered friends to arrive. I mean, just imagine the whole family gathered at the window, looking out at the garden or the balcony, watching these winged guests fly in to enjoy the feast. It just perfectly loops back to our overarching theme of ecological care. We built it together, we hung it up, and now we get to quietly observe nature thriving right in front of us because of our efforts. So, The absolutely crucial point to remember here is that birds love to live free in nature and never in a cage. The most beautiful part of this entire project is the distinct privilege of seeing wildlife come to visit us in total freedom. By feeding them in their natural open habitat, we are truly respecting their wildness. We're caring for the planet and getting to enjoy its beauty without ever trying to capture or contain it. Thank you all so much for joining me for this explainer today. Keep looking closely at the natural world around you. Keep finding those little ways to reduce waste, and I really hope this inspires you and your family to start your own purposeful nature projects very soon. I'll leave you with this. After successfully transforming a simple fallen pine cone into a feast, what other gifts from the forest might you be able to recycle next?